Under the roaring sun of the royal quarry, a tiny dusty pebble lay forgotten among piles of grander stones. The hammer strikes echoed through the valley, carving blocks destined for palaces, statues, and crowns. But no eye turned toward the pebble. It was too small, too ordinary, too unseen. Yet here's the hook. Sometimes the greatest stories begin with the most invisible things. One day, a seasoned gem cutter wandered through the quarry, searching not for size but for spark. His eyes fell upon the pebble, plain, unremarkable, and yet his fingers paused. Something shimmered beneath the grit. Workers scoffed as he pocketed it. "That's worthless," they laughed, but he whispered, "Patience will tell." And so began a journey no one expected. Back in his workshop, where tiny glass windows caught late afternoon sunlight, the cutter began. With steady hands, he lifted the pebble to the wheel. A hiss of friction. A sliver of dust fell. The pebble flinched inside itself. At least it felt like that. Each pass of the wheel was discomfort, change, challenge. Is this what becoming more feels like? If it could speak, it would ask. Days became weeks. The pebble endured grinding, water baths, polishing cloths. Sometimes the cut seemed too deep, the pressure too great. The cutter paused often, studying it under lamplight. "Trust the process," he murmured. "True beauty resists before it reveals." Outside, life marched past the workshop, never noticing the transformation happening in secret. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, he set the stone down and exhaled. Gone was the rough pebble. In its place shone a brilliant gem, clear, radiant, almost trembling with its own newness. The cutter held it up to the sun, and for the first time in its existence, light passed through it rather than around it. Word reached the palace. The stone, once dismissed as worthless, was mounted into the king's crown. Courtiers marvelled at its brilliance. Visitors stared in awe, yet none understood the hidden truth. The gem's beauty wasn't born. It was forged, carved, and earned. And what of the pebble's heart? If it had one, it might whisper, "The wheel that hurt me shaped me. The pressure that frightened me refined me. What felt like breaking was actually becoming." So the old crown gleamed anew, not because of gold or design, but because a once-forgotten stone learned to shine. And in its glow was a quiet message for anyone willing to listen. Some treasures only reveal themselves after patience, hardship, and time. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this story, please like, share, and subscribe to help the channel grow.